today's Future Sound. My name is Dr. Elliot Gann, and I'm happy to have some of our folks from last week back again. So we have Prof. Gets you, and is it your younger brother as well?
Yeah, he's here. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what was your name? What's his name?
Pradyum. Pradyum.
So can you say it one more time?
Pradyum.
Cool. Pradyum, nice to meet you. Welcome. Good to see you again. And then we also have Atharv. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Tell me if I'm mispronouncing it. Please correct me. Uh,
Or,
Atharv, was that correct?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so just to give you guys everyone a heads up, we're going to be recording the workshop, so it's really important that we have permission from your parents and for you to be here and to be recorded. So just check that out with your parents. And then we have a lot of really amazing beat makers and DJs here today who are going to be helping you in the workshop. So I introduced myself already. I'll pass it off maybe to Brian, and then we'll go around the Zoom and have all the instructors and the volunteers from today's Future Sound introduce themselves.
Yes. So my name is Brian. My producer name is Cosmic. You guys can also pick a producer or DJ name too, if you would like, when you export your beats. I'm an instructor with TFS. I'm also a producer and audio engineer, mainly doing beats. Been making beats for about 10, 11 years now, and definitely excited to be here.
Who's next? Who's next? What? It's me.
Torrent,
It's me. How's it going? My name is Torrent Scott. I go by DJ Ambush. I've been DJing for about 30 some years. Been producing since, I would say, my first beat on 92, you know, kind of out of necessity. Traveled the country, did some overseas stuff. Been with TFS for about almost 2 years now. Feels like going by quick. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting busy with y'all.
What's up, guys? I'm Jonathan. I go by DJ Gons. I've been DJing for over 15 years. I'm just doing competitions the first 8 or 9 years. And now I've been doing instruction as far as teaching kids, adults, just the art form and having fun making music.
Mike, are you there?
Yo, what's up? Sorry, my mic wasn't set right before. What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Cochran. I go by Maitre D. I am a DJ producer. I've been making beats for 20 years as of this year. And DJ as well. On a little break from DJing right now, but just happy to be here. Happy to share the beat making with y'all, and yeah, thanks.
Awesome. I think that's everybody. Cool. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dive back into BandLab. The first thing I'm going to introduce to you is how to program drums, and then maybe Torrance or Jonathan can maybe get into a little bit of melody or other things, but let's get some drums going first. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And so where we left off is we had just added a track up here and we had created a drum machine. And these are the two patterns in our drum machine. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete these from my sequencer. And we're going to focus on this little area down here. So this Authorov is our drum sequencer, and this is where all of our drum sounds are. And so I'll go ahead, I'm going to play some of these sounds so you can hear them. Let me know if you can hear these. Can you hear those? Awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to clear the pattern. You can also clear them by clicking on the dots and holding down your mouse and just dragging. But I right clicked and I cleared the pattern. And so we're going to focus on our first 3 drum sounds. And there's these 3 sounds right here. We have this one, this one, and this one right here. Prothog, do you remember what this drum sound was called?
The snare.
That's one of them, but this one's called something a little different.
The kickstand.
The kick drum, exactly. So we have the kick drum, and in this case, it's also called an 808, which is kind of like a bass sound. If you have your earbuds on, you might be able to hear it through your laptop speakers. It kind of has a little bit of a rumble to it, and you can feel it. So this is our kick drum, and when we're putting our kick drum in the grid or the drum sequencer, Prothier, do you remember where we put our 2 kick drums?
My brother. The first one in the first thing, and the other one in the second white. The first.
This one right here?
Yeah. That one.
Exactly. So,
Good job.
yeah, great. That was really good memory. So we have the kick here and the kick here. And the way we count this is we have the 1 is the first dot in the grid. We have the 2 right here in the darker part of the grid. The 3 is right here and the 4 is right here. And so I'm going to turn on this little button right here called the metronome. And this is going to help us count those 4 beats. So I'm going to click that on. And so it says enable metronome. And then I'm going to play this drum pattern. See. I'm going to add this pattern to the track actually, so I can play them at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that's a little fast, right? Maybe while we're learning this, we need to make it a little slower. Prothier, do you remember how we make the beat slower?
Yes, me and my brother know.
And Atharv, if you know any of these too, you can definitely let us know.
So up
right
on
here?
BPM, that's beats per minute.
Mhm.
So instead of putting it 120, if you change it to something lower, it would go slower. And if you change it, if you make it more, then it would go faster.
Exactly. So what BPM do you think we should go at if we're at 120 right now and we want to make it slower? What do you want to do?
Maybe 100?
Maybe 100?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 70 or 90?
You wanna do
40?
We'll go in the middle. We'll do 95 between 100 and 90. How's that sound?
Okay, good.
All right. And so now let's hear what it sounds like. So Atharv, listen to how this makes the beat slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And if I go back to 120, it's gonna get faster. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go back down to 95. And then, do you remember what this drum sound is called?
Snare drum. Snare drum.
The snare drum?
Yeah. Snare drum.
Yeah. And where does that one go?
That goes on the second, the one after 2.
So the 2?
Yeah, the one after.
And then this one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so that's the 2 and the 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's play with it. Let's play that and see how that sounds. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Atharv, how you doing over there?
Wait, I have a question. How do
Yeah.
you drag and drop it on the one?
Oh, how do you put it up here?
Yeah, it's not working for me.
Okay, so I'm going to delete it. I'm just going to highlight it with my mouse. I'm going to hit the delete button. And then I'm going to bring my cursor over here. And then see this little add a button right here? This little green button.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna click that, and it's gonna put it up here for me. And if you can, it would be great if you can follow along and create the drum pattern that we're creating right now.
All right.
Nice.
Right.
Perfect.
Right for us.
Good job, Athar.
Yeah, great job. So to recap, we have the kick, we have the snare, and then we have this last drum sound that we're going to focus on right here. Do you remember what this drum sound is called, anybody?
Why don't you make it slower? Hi-hat. Hi-hat. Hi-hat.
The hi-hat,
Good job.
exactly.
I
And
said that.
and where does the hi-hat
It
go?
was a team effort. You guys are doing good.
Yeah, they're great. So where does the hi-hat go?
It goes like you can go everywhere. No, like you put it on one, then you skip one, and then you put it on another one.
But yeah, you can definitely do that, or it can go everywhere on all of them,
Yep.
just like your brother said.
Or it can go skip by tens.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. That's the pattern you showed.
Yeah, so let's start with this
Or you
one, and then we'll add some more. So I'm gonna play this, and we'll hear what that sounds like. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so with the kick and the snare we have 1, 2, 3, 4. But when we add these extra hi-hats in here, we add another little count. We go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now I'm gonna put them on all of them, like you said. And we even add another 2 more counts from there. So now we have this. And to count that, I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Because if I count it like this, it's really fast and it might be harder to hear. So it's like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. But I'm going to bring it down to like, let's say 70.
We're doing everything. Oh, how about we skip these ones? Skip all the and do all the black only.
You're already experimenting with some new drums over there?
I can hear it.
Nice. Awesome.
Okay, now let's play. Now let's play ours.
Oh, wait, hold on. Did Torrance get knocked out? Let's see. All right. So I slowed it down a little bit so we can hear the count a little bit better. And I'm going to take these away. Actually, no, we'll keep them on. And we'll count these. So we have 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. So 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a, 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. So with Arv, how are you doing? Are you at this same type of drums right here?
Yes.
Cool. So what I want you to do now is take this drum pattern and then maybe take a kick away or add some more kick drums and experiment with a different hi-hat pattern. So maybe take some hi-hats away. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but we'll see how it's just like experiment and see how it sounds. And then also adjust the tempo or the BPM up here, the beats per minute, and see if you find something that you kind of like. Maybe you wanna go really fast. Maybe you wanna do something like this. And then take some kicks away. So maybe just experiment with a little bit and see what you can come up with. And you can try some of these other ones too. For instance, the snare drum sound. Do you remember what the other drum sound is that we can replace that with? That's like almost the same as the snare, but it sounds different.
A clap.
Oh wow. The clap right here.
We're on it today.
I know, they're really on it. So you could put a clap instead. And maybe this rim shot sound right here. So it's kind of like a snare drum, but instead we're hitting the side of the snare drum. So just see what you come up with. You don't have to add any of the other ones, but at least use the kick drums, the snares, and the hi-hats. And I'll give you a few minutes to work on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you guys have a drum kit ready, whenever you guys are ready, play it. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Adar, do you have any questions for Brian or any of us?
Yeah.
Can you go to electric Bob? I think I got a question.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So sometimes whenever I try to add loops, it doesn't really work.
What do you mean? Like where are you trying to add the loops? Up here?
Huh?
Or down here?
I press the loops button down
Uh-huh.
like the loops button where the MDI mappings, collaborating,
The MIDI map?
Oh, on the bottom right next to
Oh,
lyrics
the
and
MIDI
notes, right?
mapping.
Where it says loops.
Yeah,
Oh,
To the
the
left of that,
loops.
yeah, I think it's referring to that.
yeah,
Oh, so you're already trying to add some extra loops to your drums.
yeah. I was trying to.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, but I'll definitely. I know we did that a little bit last week, so I'll show you that real quickly, and then
I remember it kind of, but one more thing.
yeah.
So whenever like I make like a big thing where you combine like pianos and loops,
Uh-huh.
sometimes whenever I start playing it, once it plays, it goes like forever and it never stops. So I have to pause the song and
Uh-huh.
then bring it back. Like you know the numbers
Yeah.
up over
Yeah.
there, it
Uh-huh.
counts how much time it is or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It keeps on going forward and forward and it doesn't really stop. So I have to pause the song, then put it back to the beginning, and then it would play.
Yeah, so there's actually a feature up here that allows us to loop the song so you don't have to keep bringing it back to the beginning. So see this little red bar right here? You can also click
Yeah.
this button. So I want to make sure that's lit up green, and then I'm going to take this, and I see how it's only from 1 to 2.
Yep.
I'm going to bring it back to the beginning, and I'm going to press play. Watch. It comes back to the start, right? And if I make it longer, if I put it to the 3, I'll loop it some more. And now it'll loop when it hits the 2 bars. So we have 2 bars right here. So when it gets to the 3rd bar, it comes back to the beginning.
You got, I think my brother has a question. No. Oh, he doesn't really.
Not right now? Okay.
I was gonna say, brother, why don't you try seeing if you can loop like how Brian was doing that right there,
Yeah, try to do that. Try to do this right here.
just so that when you open up that project again, you have a better idea of how to loop that, so you're not running into it playing forever
Yeah.
with nothing on it. Give that a shot.
Okay, once it's new. Turbo trap.
Hey, Brian, Elliot and
Yeah.
Torrance are in the waiting room to be let in if you have a chance.
Okay, 1 second. I'll listen
Thanks.
right now.
Oh, you got me, Mike. Thank you.
Darv, are you doing all right? Any questions?
Yeah, how you doing with Arv? I hear some drums going on in the
Yeah, there's some
background.
drum action going over there. Prothiog, were you able to figure out how to loop it now?
I'm trying to choose. I'm still trying to choose which loop I should choose.
Are you jumping on loops? Okay, okay.
I'm seeing
nice.
which loop I should choose.
I was gonna ask you, when you're trying to come up with your drum beats, do you beatbox or think of anything in your mind when you're trying to create it?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I would say
Or
stick with that. It can really help.
most of the times I just do it randomly, and then
Yeah.
in the middle of it,
Uh-huh.
I get an idea, and then I start doing according to my idea.
Awesome.
Nice. Pratyag, did we talk about different genres of music last time?
What?
And did we talk about different genres or types of music last time, and
Uh,
how tempo can affect that? Tempo
mm,
works with that?
only a little bit. Yeah, I
Only
think.
a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do a little bit more of that too, because that might help you get an idea. Because I mean, I think right now what you're doing is awesome. You're just seeing whatever comes to your mind, or you're trying different things. Um, but all different types of music and different genres kind of have different tempos and styles of drums that go along with them. You don't have to stick to those boundaries, or you don't have to do exactly that. But sometimes it's good to have a general idea of, like, what an electronic music drum beat sounds like sometimes, or maybe what a hip hop beat or a jazz beat sounds like. And that kind of, let me share my screen for you with Arb too. Let me show you one more feature while you're working on your drums. So over here, now that we have, let's say, a drum pattern that we like, let's say I like this drum pattern right here. But I want the sound of the drums to be a little bit different. So over here, where it says 808 kit, this is the drum kit or the drum sounds that always load up when you create a drum machine. But we have a ton of different options that we can choose from.
Yeah,
So,
you thought about genres. For
yeah,
the piano and this, I remember.
yeah, we did talk about that a little bit. So if I come over here to, let's say, the hip hop kit, now my drums are gonna sound different. But the cool part is the hi-hats, the snares, and the kick drums all stay in the same place. It's just the sound changes. So I'm playing like this. But if I go to, now it's like a live drum kit. And it changes the vibe or the feel of the song a lot. So after you get a drum kit, maybe try some different sounds that you might like.
No, I know. I still can't get the loops very good.
Okay,
I got a loop. I opened the loop thing. I chose a loop, and now how do I record it or something?
Yeah, so let's get into that in like maybe 1 minute. Let's see where Atharv is at right now. Atharv, do you have a drum pattern that you like so far, or do you want to have anything you want to share?
Yeah, I've got a drum pattern.
Awesome. Do you want to play it real quickly? Maybe just through your computer speakers.
I want to do something. Like electric pop kit. Can you go to yours?
Or do you have any questions?
Electric pop kit. Where is that? No, go into pad kits. Pad kits? No, electro pop kit. Okay.
All right, so Atharv, if you have a drum pattern that you like, we can go ahead and we can add some other instruments to the song, and we'll start with some drum loops. So Pratyag right now is doing, I'll show you what he's doing and what he's looking at. So if we come over here to add track in the top left, there's this little browse loop section down here on the bottom right. So I'm going to click on that. And then it'll show you all these different loop packs. And so we were just talking about different genres or styles of music. And these give us a bunch of different sounds that we can choose from. So I'm going to try, hey Pratyag, do you want to take a look? Because I know you said you were having some trouble dragging and putting the loops in. So you selected a kit. So I'm going to select the analog synth kit. And if I press this button right here, I can preview the sounds.
Yeah, it previews, but I can't put it inside the song.
So yeah, if we want to put it in the song, we take this right here, we click on it, we hold it, and see where it says drag a loop or an audio file, or MIDI. We put it down here, and then it will line up. Now we have a loop.
Got it.
Does it work for you now, Parka?
Yeah. Did you get one dropped in? Tharp, were you able to find the loop pack section?
Yeah. Here.
Awesome.
And
So yeah, there's a lot of different loop packs and sounds that you can look through. I'm just going to put one in randomly and see how it sounds. That's pretty cool.
That's fine.
And the cool part about BandLab is that, you know, you see how when I click on one of these loops, down here on the bottom right, it'll show us what the BPM of the loop is. And so I might want to try and find one that matches my drums, but this one was pretty close. This loop was 85 BPM, but my project was 88. And so when I dragged it in, it automatically made the loop 88 BPM. So it made it a little faster for me so that it lines up.
My brother wanted to share one of his beats.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it's just gonna play.
I was going to ask you guys, I know you were saying you were having trouble dragging that loop. When you tried dragging the loop this time, did it work?
Yeah, were
We're
you able to get the
gonna
loop
do-
in your sequencer?
I'm gonna do it. One. My brother just wanted to do it. Then I would do it because we're inside the same laptop. So he just wanted to share this.
why don't you close the oops. Share your screen.
Okay.
I like
Can
the
you
teamwork
hear
there.
Okay, so let me just try to do the beats, the loop. Let's
Yes.
see.
Share your screen.
Yeah, try and find a loop that matches those.
Yep, I'm trying to.
What was the BPM of that song? Is it in the hundreds somewhere?
That song,
70.
70.
Oh, it's 70. Okay.
Well, head nod.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when you're looking through
And
your
it's not from the 8 kit, it's from the Electro Pop kit.
awesome.
Okay.
My brother only likes to do Electro Pop kit, 909 kit, and some other.
And 808.
Yeah, and 8
He's already finding his style. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, try and find a loop and drag it and drop it in here that might match those drums. That drum pattern, that drum pattern had like a lot of energy, it seemed like. So you might want to find a loop that matches that energy. Or maybe you want to contrast it and make it something that has a lower energy loop and that goes well with the faster drums.
And I was curious, are you guys able to share your screen? We'll be able to take a look at it, or are you guys with your phone on Zoom? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, you guys are on a computer and the phone, right?
No, I'm just on the computer. Me
Oh,
and my
okay.
brother are on the same computer.
I think
This is my computer.
I
No,
think
no,
I
no.
should be able to allow you to share the screen. Let me check the settings really quick.
My brother wants to share his screen.
All right, you guys can go ahead and try and share your screen. I think I just allowed the participants to also share.
It's okay. I
Share
think we're
computer
allowed to do
sound.
that. I'm gonna try
Yeah.
out this loop. So can I play the loop actually?
Why don't you share your
Yeah, do you want to try and share your
Yeah,
screen?
try to
so
share your screen. We
can
can
hear
try
it?
to hear it a little bit better.
Okay. Let me just see if it matches. A minute.
Yeah, let me show you really quickly how you need to share your screen. So while I'm sharing my screen right here, let's see. You have to, when you hit the share screen button, there's a little option on the bottom left that says share computer sound, and you have to make sure it has a blue check mark, and you check that little box.
There you go.
Nice.
Mute, actually. Sorry for that. Yes. Okay. Can you hear me and see me?
Yep.
Okay.
Good to go.
So this is the thing I made, and my brother made the drum machine, which is like this. It's an electro pop kit, and so I'm gonna play this now. Oopsie.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
Pratik, what you might want to do is make sure that I'll share my screen and I'll show you. You try and have your drums play at the same time as your instrument is playing. So you see how your loop was like a little bit over here? So your drums were here and your loop is down here?
Yep.
You want to just drag it over so they line up. And also the other thing was your drums were 1 bar. So try and match the loop to the same amount of bars as your instrument. So you take this little circular button up here in the top right and you drag it over. And so now see how my drums are 2 bars and my loop is 2 bars?
Okay. Let me just try that circular button thing where you can press it. I don't really see a circular button. Oh,
yeah,
I got it.
Cool.
Can I try playing it again?
Yeah.
I don't know how to drag it down, this loop. I can't drag it down. Like, you have like 1 space between them. I can't really drag it down.
Do you want to share your screen so we can see what you're saying?
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
It doesn't allow me to share screen because another participant is here.
Oh, I'll stop my sharing. All right, now try it.
So what I was talking about is, so these 2 are together. I just want like I want like this line. I want to put this down over here and nothing on this line. Like
it'll be the same if you have them on either line. Yeah. But I think you need to drag your loop over a little bit more to the left. Yeah.
A little off time from the other. You're trying to make them both equal.
Yeah.
More to the left.
All the way. The other way.
Wait, this way?
There you go. Right.
Yeah.
There.
Boom. You want to snap it. It'll snap into place. And now try and play and see what that sounds like.
It sounds bad with no break.
Now, question with that: why does it sound bad?
Because it keeps on going, and there's no break really.
Now, with them together, is it where the drums are kind of fighting with the sample or the loop?
Kind of.
Kind of. So a thing you could try to do with something like that is maybe have less instruments or less drum sounds, and maybe just a kick drum, and kind of build it with the sound. As opposed to, it's like you have the whole sandwich and you put another sandwich on top. There's like a lot going on, and it might sound like chaotic and a little crazy.
Yeah.
Or you were talking about the break. You could make another pattern that doesn't have as many drum sounds.
Exactly.
Do it like that also.
Yeah. So maybe experiment with some different, now that you have a loop, maybe try and So go over here to, you can keep that drum pattern, save that one, but you can come over here to your B pattern. So see how this is the A pattern right here? If I click on this B pattern and I clear it, I can have a second pattern. So if I come over here, let me undo that actually, and I click my B pattern and I say add B pattern, now I have a second drum pattern, and I can loop this, and now the drums will change between the two patterns.
You guys hear how the drum patterns changed?
Yep.
I'll make it a little bit more drastic so you can hear the difference. Maybe on the second one, on this B pattern, I'll speed the hi-hats up. So now we have the A pattern going. And it goes back to the A pattern, A, B. So maybe try and create a second pattern in the B and save this A one. And try and make the pattern while you listen to the drum. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
so or the loop. So listen to the loop. So here's the loop with no drums. I'll play it. Oh, I need to add a pattern. 1 second.
Something happened to my B. Can I share my screen and show it?
Yeah.
Kind of jumbled up. Like this. This is a B. This is a B. So they were all one B, and then it became like this.
Uh-oh. So it looks like you might have changed the lengths a little bit.
Yeah.
Too much or too little. So I'll show you how to fix that. So yours kind of looks like this a little bit. So now you have like, you know, it's a little bit out of length. When you're making beats, you kind of want to make everything at least be 1 bar or like half a bar. And usually loops are like in increments of 2, like 4, 8, or 16. So you could have a 1 bar loop, but usually you want to extend that loop to like 4 bars or 2 bars. And so make sure that each time you're making a loop that you're snapping to the bars and that it's either 1, 2, 4, or 8. So this is a 4 bar loop. And then now maybe this next one will be an 8 bar loop. So
Ask
I'll
you guys,
count.
have you ever messed with Legos? Like the little Lego blocks, where you get like 1 block and you stack another block on top and they're equal.
Yeah.
So think of those, like the loops and your drums, as Lego blocks. You want to make them even, because if you don't put them together even, they don't look well together. So when you first start out, you can try to keep everything equal, where your loop is, say your loop is 2 bars, I'm going to make a drum pattern that's 2 bars. I'm going to make something else that's 2 bars.
Good analogy right there.
And then once you have them even, then maybe you can take a little bit away. So now, see how we have 4 bars here and 4 bars here?
Yep.
But you were saying earlier that you wanted a break. So maybe I'll make this stop at the 1/4 bar. But see how I'm still in the grid? If I let me zoom in a little bit. It's not exactly 4 bars, but I took a 1/4 of it away, but I'm still in the grid. So when I play it, oh, let's mute. I think it's muted. So when I play it, and it gets to this part, it's like a drum. You're adding a little drop. So it's great when you take some away, but you want to use it maybe as a transition, like when one section is going to the next section, but you still want to try and maybe stay in the grid. These little lines.
Why don't
right
you
here.
guys try to actually copy that? Make
Yeah.
a B pattern with your drum, and then an A pattern, and make that little break just like Brian did, and see if you can copy that.
Yeah, I'm just trying one.
Yeah, give it a shot there.
Okay. B and B. Let me see if I put this. Okay, now make it equal to this thing. Almost there. Let me see how this. I think it's way too long.
I would say if you want to mute the loop and just the drums, just so that you can work on one thing at first, so it doesn't feel like it's so many things going on, you can try that.
Yeah. And now that you have a loop also, you can try creating new drums over the loop. So if I just play the loop like this, and I come to a blank, if I go to my C pattern or my B pattern, you can go to any of these that are blank, and I add a blank pattern right here, and I loop it. Now I can create drums as my pattern is playing. So I'll play it, take these away, start fresh. And then maybe I want to try with the kicks. Then maybe I'll add some snares. And some hi-hats. Then maybe I'll add some other sounds in there. See how I can play the pattern and hear the drums while I'm listening to the loop and I'm adding them. There might be like a little bit of a delay, so you might not hear it right away, but you can add your drums as you listen to your loop. So you can try and fit them.
Could you push those in with the keys as you're doing it live? Can you use the keys to like press?
You can use the keyboard,
Yeah.
like your computer's keyboard. I was trying to hook it up to my like MIDI keyboard. I was having some issues, but it'll on the drum program at the bottom, to the right of the symbols of what the drums are. Those are like the keyboard commands. So like your kick drum would be like S. So it's like S.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it'll be like that.
Okay.
Atharv, how are you doing over there? Do you have a song, a beat that you want to share? Maybe some drums, or if you found a loop.
I found a loop.
Do you wanna share your screen and play it, or do you want to just play it from your computer speakers? If you feel comfortable doing that. Atharv, when you hit the share screen button, there's a little button that you need to click before you hit share screen that says share computer sound, and you want to make sure it's lit up and it's green. So you might need to share the screen again.
Stop your share, Atharv, real quick, and then share your screen again. And that little you'll see a little prompt.
This Windows stuck on some minimized view and can't.
Oh, that's probably like each person's little camera that you can see. You can move that around.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get to the stop screen button. Or stop share, I mean.
There you go.
There you go. Then try to share your screen again. But before you click share on the bottom right, look to your left, and there's going to be a little button that says share computer sound. Make sure you click that, and it should look blue when you click that.
Yeah.
Share.
It'll say share computer sound, and it'll be on your bottom left-hand corner. Let me know if you see that. There you go. Hey, hey.
Ooh.
Boom.
Good
That was
job.
it, man.
That's awesome. It's perfect.
Ready for the dance floor.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Adar?
Good.
Awesome.
Those are really cool drums. Go really well with that loop too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions on what you just worked on with that? Or something that you might have been stuck on while you were working on that?
No, I have no questions.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say the next step after that would be maybe adding another drum, or I mean another instrument that comes in a little bit later, and then we'll talk about organizing your song and composing it and arranging it a little bit later, because like right now we're just focusing on getting loops going, and we started doing a little bit of arranging with talking about, you know, adding the drum drops or how many bars our song should loop for. But eventually we want to take, you know, our 4-bar loops or our 8-bar loops, and we want to extend them to like, you know, up to a minute or 2 minutes even, and make it like a full complete beat.
How's my production team looking over there? How you guys holding up? Prathia, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, how's everybody on that end?
It's like I'm cooking up something.
I think he's working on something. Yeah.
Yeah.
We might have to wrap up soon. I think, let's see. Because it is 12:04. Torrance, did you have anything you wanted to add or share that you were working on over there?
No, man.
Yeah.
Whenever I do this, I get in the middle of the class and want to get on some beat stuff.
I know,
That's
right?
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's a good idea. I need to. No, I'm good.
Adar, do you have any questions?
Yeah.
No.
What I would recommend, first of all of you are doing great. Like I said, it can be quite a bit of a challenge trying to work on tracks when you're just trying to learn the program too.
Yeah.
So big hats off to all of you. I would recommend, as far as some practice, learn how to make different drum patterns from songs that you like, and try to see if you can copy how those drums sound. So if you're hearing a very high energy track that's going boom, 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 or you can say boots and hats and boots and hats, how to
Yeah.
create that style of drum.
Yeah. I would say that's
And if you mess up, it's okay. You just keep trying.
yeah.
I
just
think
kinda-
I have something to share.
Okay.
Yes, wait.
Okay. 2 minutes. See. One. Okay. Next.
Do you want to share your screen?
1 minute. Session screen. Okay. So can you see it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was really cool. Love the instrument choice. I think that instrument actually goes really well with that instrument because it's a long drawn out note. The one thing I would say is, do you remember what we were talking about a little bit ago about lining up the instruments kind of to the grid, like every 4 bars or 2 bars?
Because when you look at it, your guitar loop is like off just a little bit.
Bit, yeah.
It's in between like the 1 and the 2, and you want to get it right on the 2
Yeah.
so that it
Yeah.
syncs. So it said guitar acoustic loop, the very first one that you have.
Yeah.
It's off just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one, that instrument was actually almost a little bit of an exception, and it
kind of
works
worked.
a little bit. Yeah, because it's a one long drawn out note, so it works that way. But you still want to try and have it lined up with your drums. So make sure
I think it snaps in too. Doesn't it like snap in?
Yeah, it should snap into place.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try playing it now.
Check out.
So it is 12:08. We might need to wrap up class in the next few minutes. I tried to ask Elliot if we should keep going or not, but I'm not sure if he's.
Oh, he said he texted. He said to keep going if he felt it.
Okay.
Yeah, he said to keep rolling.
Okay, cool.
Hey guys, I actually have to go. I have an appointment at 12. But
no
thank
problem,
you for
man.
letting me sit in and watch. Brian, I'll see you later this afternoon at the other class.
All right, great. And I think Torrent.
Be cool, man. Be cool.
Thank you.
Michael.
Likewise. Take care, you guys.
Peace.
Peace.
How's my production team going on? How are you guys doing?
You holding up?
No, not right now. After class.
Pratha, do you have another class again at around 1:30?
I have it at 2 o'clock.
At 2 o'clock? Okay.
I still have a lot more time.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we can.
Maybe I have to stop at 1 because I have to continue my origami.
Okay. Yeah,
So
but we can keep going then.
I can stop at 12:30 or 1.
Okay, yeah, whatever you're feeling. I don't want to burn you out, but if we want to keep making stuff, let's keep doing it.
Yeah, because that ice cream stem thing, I heard it in the background.
Yeah.
Brother's eating.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, there it is.
I don't blame you. Go for it.
He disappeared. See you later.
I was like, "Where's my duo?" Like, "Oh no, ice cream break."
Yeah. Get it.
I was gonna ask you, brother. When we're talking about trying to keep everything together, are you understanding that idea or that concept?
Yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes you might run into that issue, and sometimes it can just be where you're gonna do that action of putting them together, but you might accidentally move it over. So it's just one of those to always just keep in mind that I always kind of refer to it as like the little blocks, that they're all even. Later on, when you start getting better, you'll start knowing when to do those in between styles that you're kind of doing right now, which is awesome that you're learning that. But at the same time, you can start off where everything is either going to be like on the 1, the 2, or the 4, and try to keep that going.
Exactly.
So kind of do both. You can do one where like I'm just going to practice putting all these as 2 bars, and then the other project you're like I'm just going to go crazy with it. Have fun with it.
And I have one question.
What's up?
So, when we start the project, it's we have to do like a new project.
Yeah.
And once we're done, sometimes once we're done doing like we normally start off with the drum machine.
Yeah.
Like once we finish.
Yeah.
Are there any recommendations for are there like any tips for finalizations and stuff like that?
As far as like trying to finish up your song?
Yeah, like once you're finished.
Oh, like how to save it as a song so that you can share it with somebody?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm trying to up my band lab games. My first time on here. Brian, what would you recommend on that? As far as like how to render out something?
Yeah, so let me share my screen again real quickly.
Is it like file, download, mix down?
Yeah, there's like two options.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's the file, so you can download the tracks, which is probably not what you're looking to do, because that's gonna give you all the files of your individual instruments.
Yep,
Yeah,
separate.
separate, exactly. But if you do mix down as, it's gonna take a minute for it to save. Yeah, you'll get the whole song, and you got some options. I think we talked about this a little bit last week. You might have had this question.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
And
when we see it, you'll probably remember.
Those options. Which one do you recommend the most?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, and there is a difference between them. It kind of depends on what you want and how you want to do it. I would say if you're sharing it with like a family member or a friend, I would do the MP3, because that's going to be a little bit smaller of a file size, so it's going to send quicker and it's going to download faster, and it's going to be easier for them to listen to and stream. But let's say you have like a SoundCloud account, or you wanted to upload your music to YouTube or Spotify or something like that. You might want to download it as a wave, so when you upload it to those platforms, it's a little bit higher quality, and it's not what we call compressed, which means it's an uncompressed file type, which kind of sounds a little complex maybe, but it just means that it has more data in it, and it has more of the information, and so it's gonna sound a little bit better. But most people actually can't tell the difference maybe between an MP3 and a wave. But if you've been listening to something for a long time and you've been making that beat for a long time, you might be able to tell the difference between it. So if you want it to sound maybe a little bit better, I would do that. But I would say if I'm going to share it with somebody directly, I would do MP3.
So if you have a friend that's like, I can't open this because it's really big file.
Yeah.
Stick with using the MP3.
Yeah.
Just one question. So my brother, he already has an account in BandLab. So sometimes me and my brother want to do BandLab at the same time, and there's 4 computers. So my mom and dad would always be working in their computer, and in my brother's computer, which is a Mac OS X, he only has Chrome. So does BandLab also work in Chrome, or does it only work in Google?
That would be the same thing. It would be the Google Chrome. It's together. That's the browser. So say you had Safari, if you're using that, or you were using Firefox, then you might run into a problem. But the Chrome is from Google.
Yeah.
So don't let that confuse you. It can kind of be confusing at first.
Yeah.
So if on the Google Chrome, it has the little Google circle with the blue in the middle and the green on the left, that little icon, the little symbol. If you have that on the computer and you're using that, then you know you're using Google Chrome. Was I able to answer your question with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why I got confused was because I play this thing called Nitrotype, which makes you type faster. It's a typing game, and then there was like a stop sign inside my brother's laptop. It said you can't play Firefox in Chrome. You can only play it in Google Chrome, or you can play it in Firefox.
Yeah, so the Firefox one is kind of, they partnered with Google to help them make their browser. So sometimes you'll see something that says Google Firefox, and then the other one says Google Chrome.
Yeah.
But just remember on the symbols, if you have, the Google Chrome one will have the circular symbol. The Firefox is going to have the globe with the fox around it.
Yeah.
So that's how you're able to tell the difference between the two.
Yeah.
On there. And I don't want to throw homework your way because you probably don't want to hear that word. But I would say with those drum patterns, because I can kind of hear, I can tell you guys want to make really energetic styles of music. I could just tell. So I would try to make different drum patterns. And listen to your favorite songs and try to copy those. As far as just the drums, like you don't have to worry about the other sounds. Just worry about how the drums are, and start learning how to put those sounds together.
Yeah. So
Jesse,
maybe
you
we,
can do that.
yeah.
So we can do it in Chrome, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, my brother wants to show me something, so I'm just gonna come back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Atharv, how are you doing over there?
Doing good.
What you working on right now?
He's cooking it up.
Finished up the thing I'm working on.
Okay. You want to share your screen?
Okay.
I'm like, you're real quiet, so I know you're working on something.
Yeah. Wow, he's got 3 drum patterns.
Yeah. Hey,
Nice.
putting in some work.
Yeah. That's
job.
awesome.
Funky, fresh, and flesh.
Hi.
Yeah.
So the only thing I would add to that is, I think it's your drum, the second one, drum C. If you move that a little bit more to the right, it should land with the guitar a little bit better. You know what part I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because it was off just a little bit, so it would sound good for a little bit, and then your hi-hat sound would kind of be off just a little bit.
But the patterns were all great.
Patterns are good.
See?
Do you want to share your screen again, Atharv? See if I can set that up.
More better than me.
Good job. See how it kind of landed a little bit better? No, you did good. And one thing too, if you want to, you can always add another sample or another loop. So you can kind of switch between your guitar loop and maybe something else, and kind of start building your song from there. That's a really good start.
What did I get? What did I get? My headphone? Huh? I just got a question.
Okay.
So, like if you want to add like a loop,
Mhm.
so if you want to add like a loop to a drum, how do you know which loop you should add? Like, how do you know?
It would be, how does it feel to you when you hear them together? I know that sounds really strange, but it's one of those where You can
Yeah.
kind of tell when someone sings well and doesn't sing too well, because you can just feel how it is. Have you ever had someone that tried to sing, like it could have been like your grandpa or someone trying to sing, and you're like, ugh, I don't know about that. I don't think you sing that song too well. But you're not trying to be mean. And
Yeah.
then you hear someone that's really good at singing the same song,
Yeah.
and it makes you feel a little bit different.
Yeah.
Where you're like, okay, I like this. It's kind of like a feeling that you feel inside, where you
Oh.
don't have to, be a doctor of good singers as far as having a degree in that. You're like, oh, I can tell this sounds good to me, or this doesn't sound good to me.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a feeling, or it could be the kind of style that you're going for. So if you're trying to make something that's very energetic, wants to get you moving, if you hear like a sad, I would say maybe like SpongeBob violin or something, you're like, I don't think that's gonna work as good, unless maybe I find this really cool synthesizer sound. I'm like, oh yeah, I want that kind of energy for my song. Does that make a little bit of sense on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's tough to
Because
just pick a loop and the program telling you, hey, pick this one. This is the one that you want to use. I wish sometimes I wish that could happen for all of us. They're like, oh, that's the perfect loop. Use that one.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like
One day.
discover. Yeah, one day. It's just trying to discover you hearing the loop. That's why when Brian was talking about earlier, having the sample playing with your drum, you'll start to know if that drum sound makes sense with what you're hearing.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're putting on your detective hat, where you're like, something doesn't sound right. What can I do to make this work? Do I need to take away these hi-hats? Do I need to change my kick drum, my snare?
Yeah.
So it's kind of you're kind of investigating your own track in a sense. You're putting your detective hat on.
That's the ultimate question,
Yep.
man.
And we're and us as producers, we're still fighting that all the time. How do we know? How do we know when the song's done? Do I need to add more? Do I need to add less?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a feeling that you get, and it won't be perfect, but it's one of those that if you can, a good way to know is if you're kind of dancing around or you feel something, then you know you're on the right track. If you feel nothing at all with it, then you might want to change the sound. That's the one way that you can kind of run with it.
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh, I'm bored, then you might want to change something in that to kind of get you going again.
Yeah.
Because the whole point is to have fun, with it and not feel like it's work.
Exactly. I think we had somebody new come in. Is that Leslie?
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Leslie, how are you?
Are you there, Leslie?
She's on mute. Yeah, she's muted.
Okay. Is she a student?
She's mute.
Oh, okay.
Really no.
If you can hear us, Leslie, let us know, or in the chat, type hi or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just to let us know that you're in there in the room with us. And then for you guys,
Yeah,
hi Leslie.
time.
Did that make sense though, as far as like knowing how to test out the loops for you?
Yeah, because basically what I do is always I make happy energetic drums. Then once I go to loops, I choose tricks.
You get what? I'm sorry, you're gonna bring it.
That's why it doesn't ring.
When you go to the loops, it doesn't quite fit. You were saying?
No, like whenever I do like happy drums, I mix it up with some dark loops, so that's why.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes that could work. Sometimes that could work. They kind of call it juxtaposition, where it's two different things. Sometimes you can really do that to trick your listener. I know with like electronic music, sometimes people will do that. They kind of call it a trolling style sometimes, where you're taking them on this one journey, and then all of a sudden it goes this way. So you can do it like that. It's effective at times if that's what you're going for. So you just have to understand as far as what type of style do you want to make with that.
I like that idea though. It's a good idea. It's kind of like you're setting the drums off in one direction, and then you take them on and give them a curveball.
Yep.
Yeah, that's tight. Like he's already thinking. He's thinking about how to maneuver the listener.
We like where your mind's going with it. We just want you to execute on that. So you should try that. You should make a track that has that. And if it's one of those where you tried to do that and it didn't work, that's where you can start learning how to make those different drum patterns where it goes really happy, and then you take some of them away to go into the darker section.
Yeah.
And now you're practicing making those new drum patterns and adding your loops on there too. So you can give that a shot as well.
And we can talk about next week probably about something we call halftime. And that's something I'll use in some of my beats where the first half of my beat will be, 90 BPM, and it will be maybe sounding a little faster. And then maybe the second half, I treat it as halftime. And so the drums seem way slower, but the tempo of the beat is still the same. So I'll treat the drums as if they're 45 when the tempo is 90. And so that's how I sometimes will create a switch up. And I'll also switch up the vibe of the instruments. Maybe I'll slow the instruments down and time stretch them or pitch them down. But we can show you that and maybe how you might want to do that in your beats.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
Athar, have any questions?
I think I have to leave.
Okay. Yeah, I think we got to wrap up in about 2 minutes.
So do you guys have a good idea of what to work on up until we all meet together next time?
Yep.
Awesome. You guys are great.
Good job,
It's kind
y'all.
of like homework or something like that.
What's that?
It's kind of like homework. Fun homework.
Yeah, there we go.
Super
I was gonna
fun
say,
homework.
I like how you added that fun homework. Do it like that. Think of it like that.
More likely I'm not hard homework.
Okay. Athar, have any questions on your end as far as what to work on for?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Do you have an idea of what you want to work on for the next time we all meet up? You kind of have an idea? I would say maybe to see if you can try to finish that song that you were working on.
My brother and me maybe have to leave. Yeah, and I have a question.
I also have to leave too, so.
Okay. We have room for one more question.
One more question, yeah.
So, should I should I practice 1 hour a day on BandLab or 30 minutes? So how much should I practice a day?
I would say, just so you can start building a routine, an hour could seem like a long time. I would make it where it's actually 15 minutes and make that 15 minutes just on drum patterns. Just work on that. You don't have to worry about any other sounds. Just work on making drum patterns.
I work on 10 minutes on just drum patterns.
If you want to challenge yourself for 10, go for 10.
Go for 10.
So just do this, 10 to 15 minutes, and your goal when you guys meet up with us next time is we would want to hear 4 different drum patterns.
That's a good goal.
Make that your goal.
I
4
think you
different
can
drum
do
patterns.
it. Yeah.
Don't even worry about any other sounds. Just drum sounds and drum patterns.
And try to experiment with different BPMs or tempos too.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So like what Brian was saying, you can make one that's 80 BPM, one that's 100, one's 110, and one's 120. Like just try different ones like that too.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Have a good one.
Nice weekend, guys.
Bye, Pratyag. Bye.
Bye.
Give that a shot too, Athar. Try to do 4 different drum patterns at different tempos.
Yeah. All right. I think he dropped out.
Yeah, I think he left. He's like, I'm gonna go to work.
He's gonna go do it. Yeah, he was on it.
Like, I'll be trying to make these beats, son.
Yeah. All right. So, Torrance, I'll see you at 3.
Oh, is that today too?
Yeah.
Okay,
Spires.
cool.
I think it's our last class today.
Awesome.
So.
Tripping. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get it wrapped up.
Okay, cool.
Great meeting you guys again.
Yeah, thanks for
All
coming.
right, man.
Appreciate you.
Good meeting you guys. Or meeting you, John.
You guys take care.
Peace.
All right, you guys have a good one, man. See you later.
Have a good day.
Later.